everyone and welcome to xxMelle Potato Kitchen! Today we're making grilled cheese. It may seem like an easy meal that everyone know, but did you try those versions? Because those versions, I have 7, are really good. And as usual, you do what you like, you change what you like, and feel free to tell me what you changed so I can try it. I want to know. So let's get into it. This is what it looked like. Cheese is all melty, all stringy, the bread is grilled and crispy. It is perfect. So the first version that we do, I used some, it's artisan Oka cheese that we have here, but I would say that it's a smoked Swiss cheese, kinda. So use any kind of Swiss cheese that you like. A green apple, and I really like it with green apple more than regular apple because the acidity in the apple is different. And some American cheese. So I did one version of these that had the smoked Swiss cheese and an American cheese. And the other version of this is all American cheese and both with the apples. So you want to make sure that your bread is well buttered. And I do not use mayo. It tastes like mayo after, and it's not good. And you don't put anything inside of the bread. You only put butter on the outside, like this. I'm not gonna show the butter applying on every single slice. That's gonna be painful. So you put the butter on the outside of the bread. Inside you put nothing. Then you put them in the pan, and I suggest building them directly in the pan as I did, because they're gonna be hard to flip until the cheese is all melty. You put the smoked Swiss cheese at the bottom, some apple slice, and then you put the American cheese on top. And for the other one, yes, I did steal an apple slice here. For the other one, you put an American cheese at the bottom, then the apple slices, and then another American sliced cheese on top. And you cook it as you would cook a regular grilled cheese. Make sure when you do grilled cheese, if you want them to be really, really good, to cook them at a low temperature. You don't want them to be too high. Here I started my pan at 8, just so that it takes some heat, but then I reduced it to 4. So I cooked them on a medium temperature, medium low even, so that the bread become crispy and that the inside, the apple are hot and the cheese is melted. Otherwise you're gonna have cold cheese and cold apple on a toasted bread, and that's not what we want. We want grilled cheese. So you cook them until they are toasted and crispy and ready, and then the cheese is melted. Once the cheese is melted, you put that onto a plate. You cut it in diagonal, but leave the sides like together. The cheese will continue to melt on your plate and it will be stringy when it's time to serve. Just like this. So cheesy, so melty. Perfect. Next, grilled cheese is basically the same thing, but instead of apples, we have a pear. You take the variety you like. We took that one. I don't really like pear, but it was good. The only difference is I added some honey on the pear slices, and it was really good. I recommend it. So same thing, butter on the inside, assembly in the pan so that when the cheese melts, it's gonna be easier to flip. And you start with, like the last time, American cheese or Swiss cheese at the bottom. In this version, I was doing some for Luigi and for I, so I was doing 2 of the same version. So smoked Swiss cheese at the bottom, pear slices on top, honey, American cheese on top of that, and then the second bread. For the second version, as you can see here, it's American cheese, pear slices, American cheese. I forgot to add the honey in that version, but I would have added it. It was really tasty. And the result at the end, nice stringy cheese again. And it was hot and sweet and salty, and it was good. Next, grilled cheese. We have garlic butter grilled cheese. It was so good. If you like garlic bread, you need to do this. The way you need to do is, if you have already some pre-made garlic butter, use that, or you can make your own. I add pre-made butter. That one is really good, so that's why I took that one. It was cold because I keep that one in the fridge, so I had to reheat it, but my microwave is broken, so I had to put it into a sink full of hot water to make it melt. So it was chaotic. So make sure that you melt your garlic bread butter first. And this one is a little bit simpler because you only use cheese. And again, 2 slices of cheese, please. 1 slice is not enough. More than 2 is a little bit too much, in my opinion. But 2 is perfect. And if you use thick slices, then maybe 1. I use regular slices of cheese. So 2 slices of American cheese and 2 bread slices with garlic butter. The second version I did with this, as you will see soon, is I added some Parmesan cheese additionally to the American cheese. It added a little something that was really good. And honestly, I think I'm always gonna add the Parmesan cheese for now on. And you cook it like a usual grilled cheese. Cut in diagonal and you leave it close to each other until it's time to serve, so that when you separate it, it's all melty and stringy in the middle. Perfect. For this fancy epic grilled cheese, you will need some mayo, sriracha, salt and pepper, smoked paprika, and honey. You want to mix those together. I will put the ingredient on my website, but it's basically 2 big tablespoons of mayo, 1 teaspoon of sriracha, 1 teaspoon of honey, a little bit of smoked paprika, salt and pepper to taste. While you're doing the mayo, have your bacon already be cooking, because you will need some bacon, some cheese curd, the spicy mayo, and some fancy bread, or like I did, I used regular bread because I didn't have any fancy bread and I was hungry and I wanted to do this recipe. The only issue I had with this recipe was that the cheese curd didn't melt. And here my cat were annoying me because of the smell of bacon, so I gave them some catnip. Look at them. Oh my god. Look at Shasha. She's so funny. They're so cute, I love them. Rolling in the catnip and everything. So cute. Okay, back to potato kitchen business. Once the bacon is ready and that everything is ready for the assembly, you need to butter the outside of the bread as usual. And again, I suggest to do the assembly of the sandwiches in the pan directly. And again, here I was making some for Luigi and for I. So we have a lot of bread on the side. So you put some bread in the pan, then a big scoop of the spicy mayo. I've only put spicy mayo on one side of the sandwich because I didn't want it to be too spicy. But then I put the bowl of mayo on the table for if we wanted to add more afterwards. Then you put a generous layer of curd cheese, poutine cheese, squeaky cheese, whatever you want to call it. Then you put a few slices of bacon, put the other slice of bread that doesn't have the mayo, that has butter on it, and it is ready to cook. When you flip it, the cheese will get out because it's cheese curds and it does what it wants. So make sure to try as much as you can to put it back. Don't burn yourself, it's not worth it. And cook on the other side until all of the sides are crispy. The cheese curd didn't melt as much as I would have hoped to, but it was tasting good. But next time I would do this, I would probably replace the cheese curd by some other kind of cheese, like maybe the smoked Swiss cheese and some American cheese, to be honest. The cheese curd was a good idea, but it didn't melt the way I would like to. So here's what it looked like. As you can see, the cheese curd didn't really melt, but it was really tasty and it was squeaky and it was good. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is all I have for you guys today. 7 different grilled cheese. They were all really tasty. It took me a while to do it because I don't eat grilled cheese every single day. So I've been working a long time for that. Thanks to Bullbuff to give me that idea to make grilled cheese as a video. I don't think I would have think of making grilled cheese for a video, to be honest, because it's so simple. But those are all versions of grilled cheese that I eat sometimes at home. And I thought I would share that with you. Except the last one. The last one was from Coup de Grace, who decided to share this recipe with us on the internet not so long ago. So shout out to them. They make awesome recipe. If you want to feel fat after eating, go see their website. I'll put it down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week for another video. Bye bye!